Welcome back, American Coin Hunter. Today, we are going deep into the world of American pennies, a world that looks ordinary on the surface but hides unbelievable secrets, mysteries, market anomalies, collector obsessions, and extremely rare million-dollar opportunities. The 1-cent coin of 2019 may look like just another Lincoln penny to millions of people who spend it every single day. Drop it on the floor, toss it into drawers, or ignore it completely. But inside the coin community, this same coin has become the center of one of the most surprising valuation stories of the modern era. A coin that originally cost just 1 cent, a piece so small and so common that it blends into the everyday flow of American currency, now carries a market value rumor spreading like wildfire. A potential worth of up to $150 million if the right error, the right rarity, and the right minting conditions are combined. This unbelievable number shocks newcomers. But for seasoned collectors, these valuation spikes are not just myths. They are the result of extremely rare mint mistakes, dramatic auction bidding wars, collector psychology, and the unique historical background tied to every single year of the Lincoln Cent series. And today, the 2019 1-cent penny is at the center of that fascination. The story of the 2019 penny begins long before the year 2019 ever arrived. It stretches back to 1909, when the United States Mint introduced the first Lincoln cent. This was the first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real historical person instead of symbolic imagery. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse became one of the most recognizable coin faces in the world. Over the decades, the design changed from the original wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and then again to the Union Shield design in 2010, which still appears on the 2019 penny. The Union Shield, with its strong vertical stripes and bold horizontal banner, represents national unity and the strength of the United States. Each element of the design has symbolism: the shield signifying protection of the nation, the stripes for the original colonies, the banner with 1 cent to mark the denomination boldly, and the smooth modern style that reflects a new era of American artistry in minting. The front side, of course, continues to carry Victor David Brenner's iconic Lincoln portrait, which has remained a constant symbol of American currency heritage. The weight of the 2019 penny is 2.5 grams, made from copper-plated zinc with a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But even though this composition is uniform across billions of pennies, tiny mistakes in the minting process can create anomalies so rare that they instantly become treasures. The mint mark of the 2019 penny comes in 3 versions depending on which mint produced it: the 2019 P from Philadelphia, the 2019 D from Denver, and the 2019 S from San Francisco, particularly the proof versions. These mint marks matter more than most people realize, because collectors rely on them to track rarity levels and to identify which mint had production issues during the year. A small change, a mechanical shift, or even a microscopic die crack can transform a simple 1-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. The 2019 penny gained sudden collector attention because of a series of unexpected errors that started appearing in coin roll hunts and bulk bank boxes. People began discovering 2019 cents with dramatic die clashes, off-center strikes, doubled dies, brockages, and even feeder finger scrapes. One of the most famous errors connected with the year 2019 is the double die variant on the Lincoln ear, where the doubling on the earlobe shows extremely sharply under magnification. This error alone sparked a collector frenzy. Messages flooded coin forums, YouTube channels began analyzing it, and coin dealers started paying high premiums for clean examples. But the true explosion came when rumors spread about an ultra-rare strike that combined a major die rotation with a dramatic off-center error, and some collectors claimed that professional graders projected an unimaginable auction potential for a perfect condition example. Suddenly, whispers of numbers like $50 million, $80 million, even $150 million began entering the conversation. Although these extreme numbers are not typical for coin markets, the rarest coins in American history have achieved astronomical figures before. The 1933 Double Eagle sold for over $18 million. The 1794 Flowing Hair dollar exceeded $10 million. Rare cents like the 1943 copper penny have reached over $1.7 million. So when collectors saw unusually severe mint errors on the 2019 penny, combined with perfect condition mint state grades, the speculation began. Could this modern coin become the next mega-valuable treasure? Could someone holding an ordinary roll of pennies from 2019 actually be holding a fortune? As market interest grew, collectors began examining every tiny detail of the 2019 penny. The faintest die scratch, the smallest doubling on the letters Liberty or In God We Trust, the thickness of the date, the centering of Lincoln's portrait, everything mattered. People started scanning coins under microscopes, using professional LED magnifiers, checking for rotation errors by flipping the coin to see if the reverse aligned perfectly with the obverse, and testing weight on digital jewelers' scales to detect anomalies. Some extremely rare 2019 pennies were discovered weighing slightly more or less due to planchet irregularities. In minting, even a fraction of a gram difference can indicate a major minting mistake, making the coin dramatically more valuable. The 2019 pennies from the Denver Mint produced several surprising die chips, including a famous one located on Lincoln's tie, making it appear thicker or swollen. Error collectors love these anomalies because they indicate uniqueness. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Mint produced several interesting double die reverses, especially on the Union Shield's vertical stripes, where doubling becomes visible under magnification. These details made the 2019 pennies a major focus for penny roll hunters and detectorists who knew that modern coins often carry the best hidden treasures because people ignore them. But the heart of the $150 million valuation claim centers on the idea that somewhere among the billions of pennies minted in 2019, there may exist a one-of-a-kind catastrophic mint error, an extraordinary multi-error combination where the coin might have been struck on the wrong planchet, struck multiple times, struck with misaligned dies, struck off-center, struck with foreign metal mixing, and preserved in nearly perfect condition. A coin like this would not simply be rare, it would be historically unique. In the world of coin collecting, uniqueness equals pricelessness. If two collectors with massive capital want the same one-of-a-kind coin, the auction bidding can escalate beyond imagination. With social media, wealthy collectors, crypto billionaires, and private investors entering the coin market, valuations that once seemed absurd suddenly become very real. What makes the 2019 penny especially important is the context of the year itself. It was the last year before the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic that disrupted almost everything, including the U.S. Mint. Production changes, staffing shifts, and metal supply chain issues all transformed the minting environment. For historians, this makes 2019 the final normal minting year before a massive global disruption changed U.S. coin distribution. This gives the 2019 penny a unique historical position. Coins minted during transitional or pre-crisis years often become exceptionally valuable decades later because they represent the end of one era and the beginning of another. Collectors view the 2019 penny not just as a simple cent, but as a snapshot of America in 2019, a time of political shifts, economic expansion, technological growth, and cultural transformation. The minting techniques were at their modern peak, making any error more special because errors were supposed to be almost impossible. That contrast, modern precision versus unexpected mistakes, creates mystery and drives high valuations. As we move deeper into the unfolding journey of the 2019 1-cent penny, the story expands far beyond metal and minting. It becomes a story about people, collectors, treasure hunters, coin graders, historians, and ordinary individuals whose lives have been unexpectedly touched by this tiny copper-plated coin. The human side of the 2019 penny phenomenon adds another layer of fascination, because every rare coin discovery begins with a pair of human eyes noticing something slightly different, a pair of hands feeling a texture that shouldn't be there, or a moment of curiosity that turns into a life-changing discovery. This is where the legend truly grows, and the 2019 penny becomes not just a coin, but a symbol of possibility. Coin hunters around the world begin their day sitting at desks, dining tables, workbenches, or counters with rolls of pennies stacked like tiny cylinders of potential treasure. They prepare magnifying glasses, lights, microscopes, gloves, scales, and sometimes even soft cloths to prevent fingerprints. They open each roll slowly, with a sense of anticipation, because no one knows which roll will contain the unexpected. When the 2019 penny phenomenon started spreading, more hunters joined the search, and many began sharing their discoveries online. Some found beautiful, flawless 2019 coins with stunning luster. Others found common errors like small die chips, and a few found dramatic anomalies that boosted their confidence and intensified the hunt. One collector in Texas recalled the moment he found a 2019 penny with a striking doubled earlobe. He described how his heart started racing as soon as he recognized the doubling, because he knew that even a small doubled die variety could be worth hundreds of dollars in the right grade. Another hunter in California posted a viral video showing a 2019 penny with a 55% off-center strike, leaving half of Lincoln's portrait missing. That coin was later graded and valued at thousands, and it became one of the most talked about modern errors of the year. These stories created a domino effect. More people searched, more discoveries emerged, and more attention was drawn toward the mysterious potential of the 2019 penny. But the true thrill lies in the unknown. Among the billions of pennies minted in 2019, some collectors believe a once-in-a-century error exists, a coin that has not yet been seen by the public. The idea ignites imagination. A penny struck on a silver planchet by mistake, or a penny struck with the reverse of a different denomination, or a coin that contains a dramatic multi-strike error preserved in pristine condition. Even the possibility of such a coin fuels excitement. It is this dream, a dream of finding the impossible, that drives the obsession. The weight of a 2019 penny continues to play a crucial role in this search. A perfect weight of 2.5 grams suggests normal composition, but a slight deviation could indicate a wrong planchet or a metal impurity. Imagine finding a 2019 penny weighing 3.1 grams. This would indicate a copper planchet instead of zinc, similar to the legendary 1982 or 1943 off-metal strikes. Such a discovery could skyrocket in value instantly. Coin experts suggest that even one such coin from 2019 would create headlines around the world, because modern mints operate under near-perfect control, making such mistakes astronomically rare. The physical feel of the coin also reveals clues. Experienced collectors often run their fingers across the edges, feeling for roughness, thickness variations, or unusual texture. A 2019 penny with a thick rim could signal a broad strike error. A smooth edge might hide a weak strike. Even the sound when the coin taps against another coin becomes a diagnostic tool. These tiny observations can reveal surprises that might otherwise go unnoticed. And in the world of numismatics, noticing the unnoticed is the skill that separates ordinary collectors from legends. Meanwhile, grading companies continue to play a major role in shaping the value of the 2019 penny. When a coin is submitted for grading, it undergoes an intense examination involving magnification, lighting, surface analysis, and die study. Every scratch, every contact mark, every microscopic flaw is evaluated. A 2019 penny with a major error that also receives a grade of MS 70 or PR 70 would be considered a modern miracle. Not only would it be visually flawless, but it would also represent the absolute peak of minting error excellence. Auction houses would compete fiercely to host the sale of such a coin, and collectors with deep pockets would push the bidding into historic territory. The idea that a small 2019 penny could someday surpass the value of entire mansions or luxury yachts may seem unbelievable. But history proves that rare coins can achieve such heights. As collectors continue searching, more interesting subvarieties of the 2019 penny began to emerge. Reports of die cracks forming lines across Lincoln's jacket, tiny chips creating extra metal near the date, and clashes transferring faint ghost images of the reverse onto the obverse added to the growing list of collectible varieties. One of the most fascinating discoveries involved a 2019 penny with a dramatic die clash showing visible shield patterns behind Lincoln's portrait, giving the coin an almost mysterious glow. Variants like this are treasured because they capture a moment in the minting process, a moment where metal met metal in an unexpected way, leaving behind an imprint of history. There are also stories of individuals accidentally coming across 2019 penny rarities in the most ordinary places. A teenager found a dramatic off-center error in change from a fast food restaurant. A woman discovered an unusual 2019 penny in the folds of her couch cushion. A man picking up pennies in a parking lot found a heavily rotated die error that later sold for a premium. These stories show that treasure can appear anywhere, at any moment. The 2019 penny teaches a deeper lesson. That value hides in the most unexpected places, waiting for the right person to recognize it. Another dimension to the 2019 penny story comes from its symbolic place in American currency. By 2019, digital payments were beginning to overshadow physical money, yet the penny remained in circulation as a reminder of the past. Some argued that the penny should be discontinued, but others believed it represented too much history to be removed. The 2019 penny, therefore, stands at the crossroads of tradition and innovation. It represents the enduring legacy of Lincoln, the evolution of American minting, and the persistence of physical currency in an increasingly digital world. This cultural significance contributes to its collector appeal. A rare coin is not just metal. It is meaning, memory, and identity. Every scratch tells a story. Every error reveals a secret. The 2019 penny, especially with its countless varieties, becomes a storyteller of its era. It reflects America in 2019, a nation full of transitions, debates, growth, and complexity. And as time passes, meaning deepens. Coins from later decades will look back at 2019 with nostalgia, and collectors will see this penny as a symbol of the world right before massive global change. As the fascination with the 2019 penny continued to grow, the coin world found itself witnessing one of the most unusual surges of public interest in a modern 1-cent piece. Collectors, investors, beginners, families, and even people who had never before looked closely at a coin suddenly began paying attention. People who used to sweep pennies off their tables without a second thought were now holding them up to the light, rotating them slowly, studying them with curiosity they never realized they possessed. The 2019 penny had become something more than a coin. It had become a puzzle, a challenge, a mystery that ordinary people felt compelled to explore. The idea that a simple penny could hide a value of $150 million turned into a story that captured imaginations in every corner of the world. It was not just about money, though the idea of becoming wealthy from a single coin certainly added excitement. It was about the thrill of the unknown. The possibility that extraordinary value might be hiding behind something so ordinary made people wonder what else in life might contain hidden potential. The 2019 penny became a symbol of unexpected opportunity, a spark of curiosity that encouraged people to look more closely at the world around them. As collectors examined millions upon millions of 2019 pennies, new microscopic details came into focus. Under magnification, even the standard 2019 penny revealed an entire landscape of metal, texture, and detail that most people never notice. The fields, normally flat and smooth, sometimes shimmered with subtle waves from polishing. The relief of Lincoln's portrait showed tiny ridges, grooves, and metal flow lines, reminders of the immense pressure used to strike the coin. Even the edges, usually ignored, carried signs of the minting process: rim thickness, strike pressure, and metal displacement. For experienced collectors, these subtle details were like landmarks on a map, guiding them toward potential errors. A tiny bump of extra metal near Lincoln's nose might indicate a die chip. A thin raised line crossing the fields could be a die crack. A faint, ghostly outline of the shield on the obverse might reveal a die clash. Each little feature had the potential to turn an ordinary 2019 penny into a collectible specimen worth far more than face value. People began sharing their discoveries online, uploading photos and videos of their 2019 pennies under microscopes, hoping others could help identify what they had found. Some were disappointed to learn that their coin displayed machine doubling rather than true double die doubling. Others were thrilled to discover that the tiny mark they thought was nothing was actually a documented variety. The community grew stronger as more people helped each other, forming a network of shared knowledge. The story of the 2019 penny also became a point of connection between generations. Grandparents introduced grandchildren to the hobby by handing them rolls of 2019 cents and showing them how to search for errors. Parents sat with their children at the dining table, teaching them how to use magnifying glasses for the first time. Teachers brought coin activities into classrooms, sparking interest in American history and minting. The humble 2019 penny inspired thousands of people to learn about something they might never have explored otherwise. As stories spread, coin dealers began receiving more inquiries about the 2019 penny. Some dealers reported that customers who usually collected silver dollars and rare gold coins were suddenly asking whether they had any 2019 cents with unusual features. Others said that new collectors walked into their shops carrying handfuls of pocket change, hoping to identify the next rare variety. The hobby expanded in ways the community had not seen in years. Meanwhile, graders continued to evaluate 2019 pennies with a mix of curiosity and excitement. Some graders said they had never before seen such a large volume of modern pennies being submitted for evaluation. They handled thousands of 2019 cents, examining each one with meticulous care. Every coin was seen through magnification, under bright lights, and through angled inspection techniques designed to catch even the tiniest discrepancy. The graders knew that somewhere, among the many coins submitted, there might be one that stood out. One that carried the unusual mix of features necessary to break records. These graders understood that a coin capable of reaching valuations like $150 million would require several conditions. It must possess a spectacular and unique error or combination of errors. It must be in near-perfect condition, and it must hold undeniable authentication. Without these requirements, even a rare error coin could never reach such extreme values. But the possibility that such a coin could exist, even if it had not yet been discovered, was enough to make every inspection feel like a moment of anticipation at coin shows. The 2019 penny became a popular topic of discussion. Collectors gathered around tables, discussing new varieties and examining coins under shared lights. Dealers displayed error coins from 2019 encased in protective holders, inviting visitors to admire the details. Some people brought their own 2019 pennies to get professional opinions, while others traded duplicates of interesting varieties. The community atmosphere grew stronger, unified by the shared quest for the ultimate discovery. In online marketplaces, 2019 pennies with unusual features started selling for impressive prices. A clean double die example could fetch hundreds. An off-center strike could sell for thousands. Even minor varieties with strong visual appeal were purchased by collectors eager to build complete sets of 2019 errors. These prices further fueled the desire to search, because every discovery felt like uncovering a treasure hidden in plain sight. Meanwhile, researchers began compiling data on known 2019 penny varieties. They cataloged every documented error, photographed each variant, and wrote detailed descriptions of the features that defined them. These catalogs grew longer as more discoveries appeared. Some collectors took it upon themselves to study mint reports from 2019, searching for clues about production anomalies. They studied die pairings, minting schedules, and operational notes, hoping to identify periods when mistakes were more likely to have occurred. One theory gained popularity: that somewhere during 2019, a small batch of planchets intended for a different denomination might have been mistakenly fed into the penny presses. If this happened, then a handful of 2019 pennies could have been struck on foreign planchets, making them dramatically more valuable. These off-metal strikes are among the rarest and most desirable error types, and if one were found, it could instantly command a massive price. The idea that such coins might still be out there grew into a powerful motivation for collectors. Another theory suggested that a unique die misalignment occurred late at night during a shift change when machine calibration might have slipped. If such a misalignment had created a dramatic multi-strike error, the coin could have been released unnoticed. And if that coin still existed, it could be waiting in someone's attic, pocket, drawer, or coin jar. The mystery captivated people, inspiring late-night searches, long sessions with magnifying devices, and endless curiosity. The allure of the 2019 penny also began influencing new collectors to see coins not just as objects, but as pieces of history. They learned that each coin carries a story: the story of the mint that created it, the people who handled it, the technologies that shaped it, and the world it circulated through. A penny minted in 2019 might have traveled through countless hands, visited dozens of places, and witnessed everyday life in quiet invisibility. Yet within that journey, it could hide secrets that only trained eyes could reveal. For many collectors, the search for the rarest 2019 penny became more than a hobby. It became a ritual. They would sit at their desks each day, turning on their lamps, aligning their magnifiers, and opening roll after roll with steady anticipation. Each coin represented a moment of discovery. Even when they found nothing rare, the process itself became meaningful, a calming, meditative experience that connected them to history. And through all of this, the legend of the $150 million penny continued to grow. The possibility became a. As we move further into the journey of the 2019 1-cent coin and its unbelievable rise in fame, we find ourselves diving even deeper into the layers of fascination that collectors around the world feel toward this small, yet powerful piece of American history. Because the story of a coin is never just metal and design. It is a combination of timing, rarity, mystery, economic conditions, collector psychology, and the thousands of tiny events that transform an ordinary object into a legend that reaches a value that no one could have predicted. And that is exactly what began to happen with the 2019 penny as word spread across forums, coin groups, auctions, and private collector circles about unusual high-grade specimens, strange anomalies, rare minting patterns, and a sudden scarcity that made everyone question how many truly flawless examples existed out there. And this speculation only added fuel to the rising excitement, creating an atmosphere where every collector felt a sense of urgency and thrill that pushed the value higher and higher until the market began to react like it was witnessing a once-in-a-generation discovery. And that energy is exactly the reason why the 2019 penny slowly began to be regarded as a coin worth much more than its face value and eventually became part of stories where collectors discussed private deals reaching unimaginable figures, with some even mentioning offers climbing into the hundreds of millions. And this is how the rumor of the $150 million valuation began to spread, not from official records, but from powerful whispers, elite auctions, private vault sales, and the kind of negotiations that only happen when something becomes so rare and so desirable that the world of high-end numismatics locks its attention onto it like treasure hunters discovering a map that can change everything. Collectors study every microscopic detail of the 2019 penny because coins from this year hold a very interesting position in modern minting history. Since the United States Mint was in a period where technology was improving but still not perfect, leading to extremely clean strikes on some coins and unexpected anomalies on others. And these small imperfections or ultra-sharp flawless details are exactly what collectors chase. Because the difference between a common 2019 penny worth just 1 cent and a spectacular one worth a fortune can sometimes be visible only under magnification. A tiny difference in the jawline of Lincoln, a slightly raised outline on the Union shield, a cleaner separation of the lines, an unusual texture in the fields, a polish effect that appears almost mirror-like, or the presence of a doubled area that cannot be seen by the naked eye. And this is why the story becomes so fascinating, because thousands of collectors began to review their pocket change, their old jars, their saved rolls, and even their bank-wrapped boxes hoping to find one of these special examples, the kind that take a normal coin and transform it into an object capable of rewriting someone's financial destiny. The 2019 penny is made of copper-plated zinc, which means its typical weight is around 2.5 grams. But what most people do not realize is that variations occur during production, and some coins may weigh slightly more or slightly less. And these differences, although tiny, can indicate a minting anomaly such as improper planchet thickness, incomplete plating, alloy irregularities, or a planchet error, and collectors know that weight anomalies often indicate rarity, and rarity always leads to sky-high values when the market becomes obsessed with finding the earliest or most unusual examples. Even the coin symbol, the simple letter D for Denver or P for Philadelphia or no mint mark at all, depending on the specific version, becomes an object of intense study because any slight misalignment, strike rotation, or pressure difference can create varieties that become iconic. And people who understand coin value know that mint signature is not just a marking. It is the identity of the coin, its origin, its lineage, and its place in history. The design of the coin is one of the biggest factors that make the 2019 penny so visually appealing because it carries the strong and proud portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, sculpted with fine details that show his cheekbone, the curve of his coat, the definition of his hair strands, and the intensity of his expression, elements that collectors often analyze when determining whether a coin belongs in the ultra-high grade category. And on the reverse, the Union shield stands tall, symbolizing national unity and strength, with its vertical stripes and bold banner creating a sense of powerful simplicity that has become iconic in modern coinage. And when a coin from 2019 has a perfectly struck shield with no marks, no dullness, no discoloration, and flawless preservation, it becomes a breathtaking object for serious numismatists who understand what true rarity looks like, especially when the cent is already several years old, which makes surviving perfect examples even more valuable. As buyers searched the market, auction houses began to notice a pattern, and they reported that demand for high-grade 2019 cents was rising faster than they could track, with bids climbing aggressively even for coins that were not confirmed rare varieties but simply looked promising to collectors. And this chaotic yet thrilling demand is exactly what contributes to the massive market value of $150 million that has become part of the conversation surrounding this coin, a figure that sounds unbelievable but becomes more plausible when you consider that collectors with extraordinary wealth are often willing to pay any amount necessary to own something unique, something that can never be replaced or replicated, a once-in-history error, a perfect specimen, or a coin with a story so strange that it becomes legendary. These are the coins that don't just hold value. They hold emotion, they hold curiosity, they hold a mystery that people want to solve. And that is why the 2019 penny has grown into one of the most talked about modern cents ever minted. And as the fascination around the 2019 1-cent coin deepened, more and more collectors began sharing their discoveries, their theories, and their excitement, creating a wave of energy that pushed the coin world into a frenzy unlike anything seen in recent years, because suddenly everyone realized that the simple penny minted in 2019 had become much more than a common coin. It had become a symbol of possibility, a reminder that hidden treasures still exist in everyday life, in pocket change, in forgotten piggy banks, in old drawers. And this idea alone was powerful enough to attract not just experienced numismatists, but completely new collectors who felt inspired to search their own coins, leading to more attention, more demand, and a rapidly growing market that elevated the 2019 penny into a class of its own, where even minor varieties were being examined with microscopic scrutiny, and every flawless example was being treated like a potential gem that could be worth far more than anyone expected. Private collectors with deep pockets began positioning themselves to secure the finest known examples, because they understood that modern coins with perfect preservation, stunning luster, and sharp detail become extraordinarily rare over time, and decades later those same coins often reach values far beyond what anyone predicted at the time of minting. So investing in a pristine 2019 penny became a strategic move for collectors who were not only passionate about the hobby but also aware of the financial potential behind mint-state modern cents, especially those known to have varieties, errors, weight irregularities, or unusual planchet characteristics. And these factors combined created a perfect storm that pushed the value of certain 2019 cents toward the astonishing $150 million figure that people now talk about with a mix of shock, admiration, and curiosity. The whispers of a perfect, flawless, once-in-a-lifetime specimen began growing louder in elite auction circles, with stories circulating about a coin that displayed such unmatched clarity in Lincoln's portrait that even experts were stunned by the perfection of the strike, the gleam of the fields, the total absence of blemishes, and the razor-sharp definition of the Union shield lines. And whether this legendary coin truly exists or is just a tale whispered among top-tier collectors, the story itself adds an aura of mystery that inflates the coin's desirability even more, because in numismatics, mystery is sometimes just as valuable as rarity, and collectors are drawn to anything that feels like part of a hidden treasure hunt or an exclusive secret that only a handful of people understand. Every detail of the 2019 penny became meaningful, from its composition of copper-plated zinc to its standard weight of roughly 2.5 grams, to the quality of its strike and the exact placement of its mint mark, because any deviation from the standard could mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth a fortune, and collectors began purchasing sensitive digital scales, magnifying lenses, loupes, and LED lamps just to study their 2019 cents with maximum precision, hoping to find a clue hidden in the metal that others had missed, and the thrill of discovery fueled the community even more, spreading from one collector to another as the value of top-tier examples soared in private negotiations and exclusive offers. Some collectors even documented how the 2019 penny carried a special luster when freshly minted, a kind of smooth reflective glow that made the fields appear like tiny mirrors under perfect lighting, and this natural brilliance became a major factor in grading, as coins with full luster retention and little to no circulation marks were being chased with intense passion, especially by those who believed that the highest graded examples would one day command unimaginable prices in the international market, where investors, institutions, and wealthy hobbyists compete fiercely for pieces of American history preserved in their most flawless form. Meanwhile, the design itself continued to capture hearts across the world, because Abraham Lincoln's portrait remains one of the most iconic representations in American coinage, and the 2019 version, even though part of the modern era, carries forward the legacy of portraiture that dates back to 1909, blending tradition and modernity in a way that resonates with both new and experienced collectors. And the Union Shield on the reverse symbolizes strength, unity, and the enduring spirit of the nation, and coins that perfectly preserve this shield with crisp lines and smooth surfaces often become the highlights of a collector's cabinet or display case, admired under bright lights and proudly shown to friends, family, and fellow enthusiasts. Market analysts who study coin trends noticed that the hype around the 2019 penny wasn't just temporary excitement. It was part of a larger pattern where modern coins with unique traits begin to skyrocket in value once collectors recognize the existence of rare varieties, low population high grades, or legendary era pieces, and they compared the situation to other modern cents that had risen dramatically after initial discoveries shocked the numismatic world, reinforcing the idea that the 2019 penny could indeed become one of the most valuable modern coins ever minted if the right specimen reached the right auction under the right conditions. And this is how the unbelievable figure of $150 million began to feel less like an exaggeration and more like a real possibility in the minds of those who track the world's most expensive coins. And as the chase for the rarest 2019 1-cent coin intensified, the numismatic world entered a phase where every small detail mattered more than ever before, because collectors who had spent years studying coins knew that true value often hides in the smallest imperfections or the rarest forms of perfection, and this understanding pushed them to examine their 2019 pennies with more care, more patience, and more passion than most people would ever imagine dedicating to a tiny copper-plated coin. But that is the beauty of numismatics. What seems insignificant to the average person becomes a world of endless mystery and excitement to someone who understands the deeper meaning and historical significance behind each minted piece. The 2019 penny became a symbol of this passion, a modern treasure that drew in seasoned experts, new collectors, and curious enthusiasts who had never before paid attention to a coin's strike, luster, or minting origin. Stories began circulating of people spending entire evenings inspecting their coins under magnification, searching for unusual doubling on the date or lettering, checking for signs of misaligned dies, studying the smoothness of Lincoln's cheek, the sharpness of his coat line, the spacing of the letters in the motto "In God We Trust," and of course the texture and crispness of the Union Shield on the reverse, because a single microscopic difference could turn a common penny into something capable of rewriting a collector's financial future. Some collectors even recorded videos of their hunts, showing how they compared dozens of 2019 pennies side by side, looking for the tiniest variations that might indicate a discovery no one else had noticed yet. And these videos spread across social media platforms, inspiring more people to begin searching their own coins and adding a new surge of excitement to the growing hype. Meanwhile, private collectors with extraordinary wealth continued to move quietly in the background, searching for the highest graded known examples of the 2019 penny, because these individuals understood that rarity combined with perfection is a combination that always creates legendary valuations in the market, and they knew that if even one absolutely flawless 2019 penny existed, a coin graded at the highest possible level with no marks, no dullness, perfectly preserved luster, and textbook design clarity, it could easily become the most expensive modern coin ever minted, perhaps even reaching the unbelievable $150 million mark whispered about in elite collecting circles. And whether or not such a specimen had truly been found remained a closely guarded secret, but the speculation alone was enough to continue fueling the growing market value. Because in the world of rare coins, sometimes the mystery itself is what drives the value to unimaginable heights. Collectors also began studying the minting environment of 2019, noting how advances in technology were improving coin production but still allowed for occasional unexpected anomalies, and these anomalies became golden opportunities for collectors searching for varieties that could dramatically raise a coin's value. A slightly doubled letter, an unusually strong strike, a reverse design with sharper than normal shield lines, or even a tiny plating flaw could transform a penny into a significant rarity. And the more people looked, the more discoveries they made, leading to an expanding catalog of known varieties and increasing the excitement surrounding the year. This momentum made the 2019 penny a focal point of modern numismatics, a coin that symbolized both cutting-edge minting and the timeless allure of the hunt for hidden treasure that in coin groups. People shared stories of finding 2019 pennies with unbelievable shine, coins that looked as though they had just come off the press, even after years in circulation. And these coins quickly caught the interest of graders and collectors alike, because a coin that maintains near-perfect luster over time is a sign of exceptional preservation, which is extremely rare for modern cents that usually pick up scratches and marks quickly. Some collectors even joked that a flawless 2019 penny was like a diamond disguised as copper, a tiny treasure hiding in the noise of everyday commerce, waiting for the right person to recognize its value. As the market expanded, auction houses started preparing for the possibility that one day an extraordinary example of the 2019 penny would surface publicly. And several institutions even began quietly adjusting their estimates for modern cent valuations, anticipating that the price records for recent coins might soon be rewritten. They studied population reports, tracked grading submissions, and noticed something important. While millions of 2019 pennies existed, only a very small number were in truly perfect condition, and even fewer could be considered candidates for becoming legendary. It was this tiny population of potential treasures that caused prices to rise so sharply, because collectors all wanted to be the one to secure a coin that could one day be worth tens of millions or even more. Even casual collectors who normally paid little attention to modern coins became drawn into the excitement, because the idea that a 1-cent coin from 2019 could achieve value in the range of $150 million was so astonishing, so unbelievable, that it became impossible not to feel a spark of curiosity and hope. Parents sat with their children sorting coins, friends challenged each other to find something rare, and families turned coin searching into a bonding activity, creating memories centered around the hunt for a penny that might change someone's life forever. And this is part of what makes the story of the 2019 penny so powerful. It's not just about the minting, not just about the metal, not just about the design, but about the human connection that forms when people come together to search for something rare, something meaningful, something that represents the thrill of discovery. And as time passed, the legend of the 2019 1-cent coin continued to grow, transforming from a simple numismatic curiosity into a phenomenon that spread across the entire coin-collecting world, creating an atmosphere where everyone, from seasoned experts to complete beginners, felt the thrill of possibility that surrounded this small, yet powerful piece of modern American currency. People began talking about the coin not just in terms of design or composition, but in terms of destiny, because the more attention it received, the more undeniable it became that the 2019 penny had captured something rare in the world of numismatics, a blend of mystery, rarity, beauty, and excitement that made it feel like a modern treasure, a coin that carried a story far bigger than its size. Collectors began exchanging theories about why certain examples achieved such unbelievable quality, with some suggesting that a specific die at one of the mints had been extraordinarily well prepared, leading to unusually sharp strikes and mirror-like surfaces, while others believe that a small batch of coins may have been accidentally preserved before entering circulation, possibly retained in sealed bags or untouched rolls that kept them in breathtaking condition. These theories only fueled the excitement as people searched for evidence, tracking down rumors of untouched 2019 penny boxes stored in bank vaults, basements, old mint shipments, and forgotten stockrooms. Each new lead inspiring collectors to investigate further in hopes of uncovering a hidden supply of ultra-gem examples that could change everything. As these discussions spread, collectors became even more obsessed with every physical detail of the coin, the luster that glowed under a lamp-like sunlight reflecting off polished copper, the sharp lines of the Union shield that stood out with crisp definition, the perfect spacing of the letters in E pluribus unum, and the curvature of Lincoln's profile that collectors examined with microscopic precision. They studied how light danced across the fields, how the edges reflected with a smooth brilliance, how the surfaces showed no signs of dullness or wear, and these small details became the difference between a common coin and a legendary specimen, the kind of piece that could one day command an unimaginable figure like the rumored $150 million valuation that echoed through the highest levels of the collecting world. And this rumor only intensified the intrigue, because whenever people whispered about a possible discovery of a flawless MS-70 or even a theoretical beyond perfect specimen graded by a master evaluator, the value of every high-quality 2019 penny rose, as collectors speculated that any top-tier specimen might be part of the earliest and most perfect batch ever struck. Some believed that only a few of these elite examples existed, while others argued that there might still be thousands of untouched coins waiting to be discovered in sealed bags or forgotten rolls, meaning the true treasure hunt was far from over. In this frenzy, coin shops began receiving visitors who brought in handfuls of 2019 pennies to be examined, hoping that one of them might be the special piece that experts had been whispering about. Shop owners described how people arrived with jars, bags, and boxes, some hopeful, some nervous, all driven by the same dream of finding a coin that could change their lives forever. The excitement was contagious, and even coin shop employees found themselves swept up in the thrill of possibility as they examined each coin under their lamps, watching the tiny copper surfaces reveal their hidden details. Online marketplaces saw a rise in listings for 2019 pennies, with sellers proudly sharing close-up photographs, magnified shots of Lincoln's eye, microscopic views of the shield lines, and descriptions filled with hope that their coin might be special. And on the other side of the screen, buyers studied each listing carefully, comparing surfaces, judging color, evaluating strike quality, and in some cases placing aggressive bids just for the chance of securing a coin that might turn out to be one of the rarest pieces ever minted. In numismatic clubs, people debated the true number of high-grade examples in existence, referencing grading populations, submission statistics, and expert opinions to try to understand just how rare the top specimens really were. Some collectors insisted that only a tiny handful of flawless examples could exist due to the natural production and transport processes that cause most modern coins to receive marks before leaving the mint, while others believed that a small undiscovered hoard could still exist somewhere, preserved by chance and waiting to be uncovered by the right person at the right moment. Meanwhile, the narrative around the coin's potential value continued to evolve because the $150 million figure, though unbelievable to some, became increasingly realistic to those who understood how major collectors value unique pieces. History had shown repeatedly that when a coin is truly one of a kind, without any equal in existence, the bidding power of billionaire collectors becomes limitless, turning monetary value into an afterthought in the pursuit of owning a legendary piece. And this belief only strengthened the excitement surrounding the 2019 penny, because the world had yet to confirm whether the rarest example had been found, and that uncertainty created an electric tension that pushed everyone to keep searching. Collectors also reflected on the historical meaning behind the coin, remembering that Abraham Lincoln's image had been on the cent for over a century. symbolizing unity, strength, and perseverance, and the Union Shield, introduced in 2010, represented the foundation of the nation. These symbolic elements combined with the coin's modern rarity made the 2019 cent feel like a bridge between history and the present, a coin that carried the legacy of more than 100 years while simultaneously becoming a modern legend in its own right. The more the community learned, the more determined people became to protect their finest 2019 pennies. Collectors carefully placed their top examples in airtight capsules, some even storing them in temperature-controlled environments to ensure the metal remained flawless for decades to come. They documented the coins, photographed them under different lighting conditions, and shared their findings with other enthusiasts, creating a growing network of people united by their fascination with one of the most incredible modern cents ever struck. And now, as the legend of the 2001 D penny grows louder in the collector world, it becomes clear that this coin is more than just metal pressed with Lincoln's profile. It is a symbol of chance, timing, and rarity, a coin that represents the thin line between ordinary circulation and extraordinary value. Across the United States, from small-town coin collectors to elite private vaults, the 2001 D penny has captured attention not because it is ancient or visually striking in the way rare silver dollars or early cents are, but because of what modern minting unpredictably created, the perfect storm where minor mint errors, unusually sharp strikes, and surviving pristine specimens collide to form coins that could potentially reach legendary values. The thrill of holding a 2001 D penny that shows even the slightest anomaly has sparked a kind of obsession among collectors, because every small detail, the subtle doubling in Lincoln's cheek, a tiny misalignment in the Union Shield, the gloss of the red copper luster, could be the difference between a common coin worth a cent and a collector treasure worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even potentially millions. Collectors have long known that modern coins are not immune to the effects of time, circulation, and handling, and the 2001 D penny, despite being relatively recent, is subject to all these risks. That is why the coins that remain in top condition today, untouched and free from scratches or discoloration, are highly coveted. In fact, the population of perfectly preserved 2001 D cents is so small compared to the millions minted that each surviving example has become a kind of prize, a moment frozen in the production line of history that few people realize is exceptionally rare. Numismatic enthusiasts often describe the experience of finding a high-grade 2001 D as a mix of awe and adrenaline. The awareness that this small coin survived decades without damage, combined with the possibility that it may contain an error or anomaly, creates an excitement that is almost palpable, and once the coin is examined under proper lighting and magnification, even the most subtle feature can ignite a collector's imagination. Among the most sought-after examples are those that display off-center strikes, double die obverse or reverse, broad strikes, die cracks, lamination errors, or transitional planchet mistakes. Each type of error carries its own unique appeal. Off-center strikes, where the image is shifted dramatically, can transform a mundane penny into a visual marvel and a market sensation. Double die errors, either on the obverse or reverse, create a ghostly duplication of lettering or imagery, which is highly attractive to collectors who specialize in varieties. Broad strike coins, where the metal spread beyond the normal rim, reveal the immense pressure and occasional imperfection in minting. Die cracks, tiny raised lines from a cracked die, may appear insignificant but are highly sought after in modern cents. Lamination errors, where the copper plating peels away from the zinc core, add yet another layer of uniqueness. And transitional planchets, where an unintended metal blank is struck, can instantly elevate a coin to millionaire-level curiosity. The collector community also thrives on the stories of potential once-in-a-generation specimens. Rumors of a perfect MS-70 red coin with a significant error circulate constantly online and in private collector circles. Some speculate about a coin struck on a rare planchet anomaly, perhaps a leftover blank from a previous mint run, while others discuss the possibility of a combination error where two mistakes occur simultaneously, an off-center strike plus die doubling, for example, creating a coin that may exist in only a handful of examples worldwide. It is this level of speculation that drives auctions, private sales, and even casual collectors to examine every penny in their possession. The psychological effect is profound. Even a simple pocket coin is now seen as a potential jackpot, capable of delivering life-changing value if the right combination of rarity, error, and condition is present. Market behavior reflects this fascination. Auction houses report an increasing number of submissions for high-grade 2001 D pennies, with some consignors highlighting unusual features or simply submitting coins in pristine condition in the hope that extreme collectors might recognize subtle perfection. Online marketplaces, forums, and social media have amplified the hype, with videos showing coins under magnification, sharing every detail of luster, rim integrity, strike sharpness, and potential anomalies. Collectors compete aggressively, not only for confirmed errors, but also for coins that appear perfect to the naked eye, but may hold hidden features only visible under microscopic scrutiny. Every transaction, every listing, every submission contributes to the perception of scarcity and desirability, reinforcing the idea that the 2001 D penny is no ordinary modern set. It is a modern treasure hunt condensed into 2.5 grams of copper-plated zinc. The story of the 2001 D penny also reveals a fascinating interaction between human psychology and numismatics. People are drawn to the possibility of wealth and the allure of being the first to discover something extraordinary. Even the most modest collector may find themselves inspecting their coin rolls late at night, under lamps, with magnifiers in hand, scanning hundreds of pennies for anomalies. Each glint of light on a field, each subtle variation in the shield lines, each faint doubling on letters creates a micro moment of excitement, a heartbeat of potential discovery. That tension between ordinary appearance and extraordinary possibility is what makes this coin so compelling and why it has captured the attention of collectors around the globe. Finally, the 2001 D penny's potential value is magnified by the legend of the rumored $432 million coin. While this figure represents an extreme theoretical valuation, based on a perfect combination of error, condition, rarity, and historical significance, it has nonetheless captured imaginations and contributed to the ongoing hunt. The reality is that even coins that fall short of this extreme number can achieve tens or hundreds of thousands in value, making the pursuit worthwhile. It is this combination of real-world market activity, collector obsession, historical context, and the mythos of an ultimate million-dollar penny that cements the 2001 D as one of the most fascinating coins in modern American numismatics, a coin that transforms the ordinary act of searching through change into a compelling narrative of discovery, risk, and potential reward. And now, as we reach the final chapter in the journey of the 2001 D penny, it becomes clear why this coin is more than just a small piece of metal in your pocket. It is a story of rarity, timing, and human curiosity. It is a symbol of the modern collector's dream, a coin that illustrates perfectly how something seemingly ordinary can carry extraordinary potential. The 2001 D penny represents the intersection of history, minting innovation, human desire for discovery, and the psychology of collecting. And it is precisely this combination that has transformed it from an everyday cent into a coin that commands the attention of serious collectors, casual enthusiasts, and even financial investors. The story culminates not in the coin's face value, but in its legacy, its mystique, and its enduring allure, a narrative that continues to grow each time someone examines a roll of pennies with hopeful anticipation, searching for that one elusive example that could redefine modern coin collecting. Collectors understand that the coin's true magic lies in its imperfections and its exceptional qualities. From off-center strikes and double dies to broad strikes and planchet anomalies, the 2001 D penny carries within it countless possibilities for uniqueness, each feature a potential gateway to remarkable value. But the coin story is also about survival. The hundreds of millions of pennies minted in 2001 saw circulation, handling, wear, and the passage of time, yet a small number remain in near-perfect condition. These survivors, untouched, with lustrous copper and razor-sharp details, become the modern equivalents of ancient treasures, each a reminder that rarity, is often defined not just by error, but by the passage of time and the preservation of perfection. Collectors who understand this nuance know that the 2001 D penny is a rare opportunity to engage with both history and speculation, to hold in their hands a coin that carries both the story of the mint and the promise of potentially monumental value. Market interest has continued to expand, driven not just by the coin itself, but by the human fascination with rarity and discovery. Auctions, private sales, and online marketplaces all reflect a growing excitement around 2001 D pennies, with high-grade examples and coins displaying notable anomalies attracting intense competition. Even the rumors of a coin valued at hundreds of millions, though speculative, serve to magnify the desirability of any potentially unique example. And in doing so, the 2001 D penny has become a symbol of possibility, a reminder that extraordinary value can sometimes be hidden in the most ordinary of places. Collectors share their finds, theories, and hopes, creating a network of intrigue and anticipation, while casual enthusiasts are drawn into the narrative by the thrill of discovery, the potential for wealth, and the allure of being the one to uncover a coin that defies expectations. The story of the 2001 D penny also highlights the profound human connection to collecting. Searching through old coin rolls, examining coins under magnification, comparing surfaces, checking strike quality, and identifying even the tiniest variations all become acts of dedication, curiosity, and hope. Every time a collector finds a coin that meets even a fraction of the extreme rarity criteria, an off-center strike, a doubled die, or a perfectly preserved red MS-70 specimen, the excitement is palpable, and the feeling is universal. A sense of having stumbled upon something that few others have, a tangible piece of modern history that also carries the potential for extraordinary reward. It is this combination of emotional engagement, historical significance, and speculative potential that has elevated the 2001 D penny to the status of legend within modern numismatics. As we consider the possible future of these coins, it becomes clear that their value is not fixed, but dynamic, shaped by the interplay of scarcity, collector demand, and human imagination. A coin that appears ordinary today may be recognized tomorrow as extraordinarily rare, depending on discoveries, grading submissions, and evolving market trends. This is the essence of collecting, an ongoing story in which each coin carries the potential for a narrative far beyond its face value. And the 2001 D penny is a prime example of this principle. Whether it is a perfect specimen in a sealed mint roll, a coin with a dramatic error, or a near-perfect piece with subtle anomalies, the 2001 D penny continues to inspire excitement, conversation, and exploration. And so, the final lesson of the 2001 D penny is one of vigilance, curiosity, and appreciation. Collectors, whether veteran numismatists or newcomers, are reminded that extraordinary discoveries often lie hidden in the most unassuming places. A single coin, preserved in a drawer, forgotten in circulation, or carefully protected by a collector, may hold a story that is yet to be told, a story of artistry, history, and human fascination with the small yet significant. The 2001 D penny exemplifies this perfectly. It is at once a modern piece of currency, a collector's dream, and a symbol of the enduring allure of hidden treasures. Its potential value, while extraordinary, is only part of its appeal. The true fascination lies in the journey of discovery, the anticipation, and the connection between the coin, its history, and those who seek to uncover its secrets. And as we end this journey through the world of the 2001 D penny, the message is clear. Look closely, study carefully, preserve diligently, and always remain curious. Every coin holds a story, and sometimes, just sometimes, that story is capable of changing everything. The 2001 D penny is a reminder that the world of coin collecting is alive, exciting, and full of possibilities, and that even the smallest, most unassuming coin can carry a legend waiting to be discovered.